Hi everyone, I'm Rick Jewers for those that don't know me. On my timeline here and what we're doing worldwide as part of a global inquiry and an awareness inquiry as well to the people um, about, let's say, the child abduction. You can also say hostage taking, kidnapping by child services worldwide, and also with how the government pays for this and how it's actually has become in the past, a lucrative business worldwide that exploits the children and the families. So what has been occurring is that it was made into a huge business. And having said that, an unlawful and illegal business as well. So, what within individual countries, what they have done is they give an illusion of a constitutional rights, but then what they do with their judicial systems, their legal systems, they turn the rights into privileges, meaning that they decide if you have the rights or not, which is unconstitutional, which is unlawful as well. But when we get further, or when we take it further and get closer into examining and looking at how family courts function, and especially in Austria, if you will, it's absolutely preposterous, it's ridiculous, and it's also unlawful in so many ways. So our current public notice, please forgive me if this is not the correct number, I think 65 that we just put out. This public notice, this has been our most extensive, um, let's say, awareness campaign by putting this out and giving it to internationally and nationally, Austria nationally, but also internationally, to other countries, heads of rights commissions, to their ministries, at showing them how the family courts are set up, this administration, and how it's actually unlawful. And to just blatantly show them, all of those that are, let's say, executing the family courts and funding all of these, this huge, whatever you wish to call it, which is unlawful. Um, Getting back on track, I kind of got a little bit away there for a moment, but showing them, in Sister Nya's case, using this as a micro example of what has been going on worldwide, what you typically have, and we put it, you'll see it in layman's terms, but in blatant, obvious terms, what we have included in this worldwide email of information and education, what we have said is, and we asked them, how would they feel if they were, they knew they're good parents, and let's say they were sitting in their home and had 10 other good friends, witnesses, and child services walk in and say, "No, you're crazy. We're taking your children." you know, and and the child services, perhaps might have the police, and they said, "There's nothing you can do about it. Our opinion is you're crazy. We're taking your children." And with 10 other witnesses there, but they don't even listen to the witnesses. This is how ridiculous and preposterous it is, and it has become, and especially in Austria. So what they're doing is they brought the field of psychiatry, psychology in to judge one. And for the one that's doing this to use their opinion to incriminate one, to separate, let's say, the mom or the dad from the children. So the focus is not on assisting the families, and this is worldwide. Their focus, they are nearsighted, they are biased, they are very wicked and evil to this extent where all they keep seeing instead of the child or the family is dollar signs flashing in their eyes. So the child, if you will, becomes an object that they can make money off of. And that's in this sick capitalistic system. So they don't recognize the child or the mother as value. They look at them as being an obstacle and a way to make money rather than the caring for the family and the individual. So it's become this blatant, but it's also illegal within their judicial systems and unlawful. And so with the course of this, we are informing in Austria, I believe, at least 13 of the top law firms, as well as all of the media, the churches as well, because here you have these churches that are speaking and know they're supposed to be speaking the word of God, and they're supposed to know to stand up for the women and children and what is not right. So we have formed them once again to come on and, stand up. And not only that, law firms, all levels of government in Austria, the judicial system, the child services, also all of those that have outstanding lawful commercial liens placed against them and perfected liens that were once invoices. These are lawful instruments that have been issued properly under contract and commerce international law. So these are very important, very lawful and valid instruments that, let's say, in the near term have been ignored but cannot be ignored in the future. And so let me just say the meltdown of the family court system worldwide, it's happening, it's imploding, it cannot exist. You cannot have family court judges making decisions on speculation and conjecture and of course bias and discrimination. So what we have seen directly in Sister Nya's case is 4 judges endorsing hate crimes against Sister Nya, against her beliefs, and a psychological evaluator attacking her beliefs. And it's hypocrisy, it's hypocritic, if you will, what it's occurring, because for the simple reason with the psychological evaluator to be biased and attacking and fabricating and making up stories, it shows that the mental capacity of the psychological evaluator herself is severely compromised. So, and not only that, the judges, when you see a judge that is attacking or endorsing the attack of another beliefs, it shows that they are not impartial, that they are actually biased. And this is not the job of an adjudicator or a mediator or a impartial judge to make what is a lawful and rational decision based on evidence. So we also see the family court practices at omitting evidence, cherry-picking evidence to support an agenda so that they can separate the mother from, or the children from the parents, mostly the mother, because of the monetary incentive that is involved in it. So it's not about the child's care nor the family's care. It's about the money, and every time you can see this. And it's ridiculous the amount of money that governments pay for one child to be separated from their families. And in the U.S., this can go anywhere from $70,000 to perhaps a couple $100,000 a year for one child. So where the government spends that much at supporting the child protective services at taking the child, and in most of these circumstances in the U.S., um, when when a child, what they call, is in danger, it's because of poverty and the society. So when you look at, let's say, a family that's only making 20,000 US, and they're struggling to survive, and they have children and they're doing their best, but Child Protective Services will come in and say, no, you're unable to care for these children. We must take them because you're only making, let's say, 20,000 a year. And here is the stupidity of it. So the government will pay for these child protective services, as I said, perhaps 75 to a couple $100,000 a year, to deprive this family unit of their children that was only making $20,000, when the same government could have only needed to spend about giving the family directly $10,000 or $20,000 and everyone's happy, instead of spending $200,000. So this is the illogical but blatant situation as well, and it's come to a point that they cannot cover it up any longer. And also with this, what we're doing, it's calling out every family court judge, but not only every family court judge, the higher court judges. What are you doing allowing this? The judicial systems, the governments, what are you doing? So it's revealing and exposing them as well. Not only them, we're exposing the media. The media with Sister Nya's case has been informed. I believe the last time we had a mail out, we had contacted 40 of the major news medias in Austria. And with that, this is a very most important worldwide news that is occurring, and none of them responded, to my knowledge, as of yet. So you can see, but we also have evidence and information indirectly, which is a hearsay. I haven't validated it, but what we have heard from another is that he knew someone in the press in Austria, and this guy said that the press are told not to speak about it, to keep quiet. And even though what I said, that this is hearsay, I truly believe it, because we know how the press also is controlled and censored to speak about the important things and about the reality of all of the corruption. But having said this as well, we are in this now that we are giving all of the truth and all of the law to these ones. In this now moment, yes, it's their choice to ignore it, but it's inevitable that a justice is being served in the near future. And it doesn't mean to be a direct judgment. It can also be all of these responsible at being exposed further worldwide with all of the great shame and showing the people what they did. And as a result, with all of these government and judicial actors, in the least, they'll become recluses from society. They cannot operate and they cannot judge and be any mediators or adjudicators when they're upholding these crimes. They are doing the opposite of what they were there to do. So it's all coming out. It's all being exposed. So again, going back to our public notice we put in there, informing the judicial bodies, informing how psychiatry cannot be used in making determinations on a parent. It's absolutely ridiculous. With that, psychiatry is only a matter of opinion, and you cannot judge and do these things against others. Also, with the immunity and impunity, what they give to, let's say, judges in the past, there is no lawful, rightful impunity or immunity. You cannot have that in a judicial system because it creates a direct conflict of interest, and it creates partiality and bias. When you have rogue judges out of control that are bought by the system, there is no justice. It becomes null and void. So it renders also the whole process unlawful, illegal, null and void, unconstitutional, and also not in the public's interest, at least. And then we also informed the police, all in Austria, also Interpol as well, and enforcement agencies, to let them know that they cannot act on court orders from judges in family courts, because a lot of these things are fabricated and made up. And with police, they have the ability to disobey orders, so we're telling them to disobey orders from any family court judges, because they're acting in the unlawful capacity. And if police continue to do this, they become accomplices of the crime and become complicit as well. And so it's not police acting on hearsay from a judge. There has to be the very real evidence that a child is endangered, not a fabrication that is made up. So with this discernment, how is a police officer going to know if a judge's order is valid or not? Well, what we suggest for the police, do not act on any of these orders, because you don't have time to validate the judge's order, and the time that it would take to do that, there is further endangerment to the children, because of a lot of the judges and are in collusion with, let's say, trafficking systems and even deeper, sinister things. So a policeman in the moment has to make the decision in the moment of not acting, because of the huge crimes that have been occurring worldwide. And again, as you're beginning to see with the Epstein files, if you will, that, but not only that, many other things that have been revealed over the years is also showing that it is very real, what has been occurring, and even much deeper things, at what they were actually doing to and with the children. And it's very sick. It's very, very pathological. It's pathological in the degree that I need to say psychotic, and that's what it is. No one harms children and families that have good, genuine intent. So when you see any of the institutions and establishments doing this to take children from families, you know that their intent is not genuine, and that is not law, it is not trust, it is not truth, just to keep it simple. So just a little bit with this. I said I'd keep it short, and the great news is we're breaking down that system worldwide. More and more are joining together, and um, yes, it's breaking down, and we're doing it. But at the same time that the old is breaking down, we're bringing in the new reality for humanity. And all of this revealing, if you will, of the darkness, what they were doing, would not be possible if God was not real. And that's why this is happening. It's time for humanity to know the truth and also to change the way things were on earth. And divine-gpms.world is the divine vehicle and instrument, which is the replacement system with God's law and a beautiful, rewarding financial system for everyone, which puts everyone into abundance, if you will, worldwide. No more suffering. But the one condition right now is that the majority worldwide need to choose this new world. And it's being done through a simple voting process because we don't have time to educate humanity in, let's say, all of the things that went wrong. We keep it simple for them. Make a choice, get aligned with what is right, add your consent. Every child's consent counts. Every age counts to get this done. It's the majority of the people to do what is right for all. It is the worldwide emancipation. It's what has been spoken about through antiquity. And it's important for everyone to know also its lawful status. So currently we are bigger than what you call the United Nations. Our representation is many multiples the population of that. We are, even though many of you have not heard of us, we are the most powerful voice on earth at this time, for the simple reason we're aligned with do no harm, the divine law, and uplifting everyone into an instant place of comfort as soon as they choose it. And we are the biggest universal voice and jurisdiction worldwide in actuality, even though it's not accepted worldwide yet. We are on the way towards that, for all to be aware and know what is here on earth, what is being anchored in the new law, which is a simple law: do no harm to anyone, and a new financial system that replaces this current beast system. The capitalistic system is the beast system, and with its artificial laws and its monetary system, which is the capitalistic system, which is not in alignment with harmony and humanity. So this is the current beast system that you had here that caused all this harm, suffering, and we are in the time for the divine system that eradicates all of the harm and all of the suffering. And this is very real. I would not be here today speaking this if it was not. And each one of you can and will confirm it in your own time. However, it'll be in the near time because things are happening so quickly. So, thank you. I just wanted to give just like a brief overview of what we're putting out, and to let the world know we are making huge divine leaps and bounds, strides forward, and that we're not giving a false hope. We are giving the reality, which is very real, what's occurring. And it cannot be opposed. It cannot be contested, this new world. So it's here. So with that, big love and light coming. Love, light, and gratitude and peace. And do no harm and have an amazing day. Thank you. Bye.